What's the score? 75 for 2?
75 for 2. Usman Khwaja batting solidly. Shami and Ashwin with the wickets. Ashwin got rid of Travis Head, yet another left-hander. Shami getting rid of Manas Labuschagne for 3. And Steve Smith had some nervy moments against Ashwin. But Australia had the best opening stand in this series.
Which tells you a lot.
Indeed.
Maybe that has a lot to do with the pitch.
Yes.
By the way, the first impression of the pitch, whatever little I got to see, is that you were talking about, nice pitch for fast bowlers or what have you, but this got no bounce at all.
No bounce.
Very poor bounce, and actually that's going to be a bit problematic for the spinners too. Because if spinners really want to do well, you need a pitch that offers some sort of purchase, at least in terms of bounce. That's when the close-in fielders also come into play. You've not left that. I don't know whether it's too early to say, and India will have to walk the talk considering Australia get a lot of runs. But this possibly, again, too early, it's just the first session and many things will happen, but possibly the only chance that you'll get to see a draw in this series. All that green grass and everything doing nothing.
Nothing.
It's just to hold the pitch together so that you don't see puffs of dust immediately on day one. But there was a little bit of moisture in the first hour because they had watered the pitch excessively heading into the match. We saw visuals of that. But with the sun beating down, it's almost 35 plus in Ahmedabad. The moisture will have to go, and now it will become a slow, low turner as it goes.
At best, I think you'll get 1.5 days now of good.
Hopefully
batting
good
conditions.
This is usually the time where half the innings is over.
Yes.
Then the next session, one inning will be over.
Yeah.
Next session, other half
Another
of the
half
next.
of the innings is over.
That's what we've gotten so used to in this series, and it just feels so strange that you've gone back to those old test matches.
75 for 2 in the first innings. First session rather.
The old test matches that we got used to.
And at the Hagley Oval, Sri Lanka are scoring at 4 runs per over against New Zealand. So after a good start there. So that is a modern style of cricket that's been played there. Here, that same attritional grind of 29 overs just over.
But Hagley Oval would be giving you much better conditions, I'm sure.
It is.
No, of course it will. It will. But all the punditry over the pitch, good pitch and all, none of that has happened. And one reason many thought it will be nice is both prime ministers would be there. But it did his job. The first half hour was doing something. I don't know. Lot of criticism about the pitch. Again, too early. But wasn't that more fun to watch the previous test matches than this?
No.
This was more fun.
Oh, yes.
This was also okay. You got to get used to it, as you said. When did we last see 70?
First session, day 1, Nagpur, Delhi, Indore or Ahmedabad.
This.
You enjoyed this?
Yeah, because I would, if I know I'm in for a test match, I want to be in for the long haul. So you're okay with this because here, really, either of the teams can very much be in the game. Australia get one good partnership, they're confident of posting 350, 400. India get another wicket and you're confident of running through the order. So it's well balanced. I like that rather than out in the first session.
Yeah, I think the scary bit for Indian fans is, and let's assume that this is that old traditional pitch that we got in India, where then batting in the 4th innings gets very tough.
Yeah.
Now what had happened before was that didn't play a major role, because even if you were batting innings number 3 or inning number 2, it was equally bad, and so you knew that there's no distinct disadvantage batting last, because all the while that you were playing, it was tough to bat against the spinners. The difference now is, if it is as low as it is right now, it'll only get slower and lower as the game progresses. Then there'll be a substantial difference as to batting 4th, and then now India has lost the toss. So I wonder, if that comes into play, and that was exactly the kind of scenario that India were trying to avoid, whereby they were making those kind of pitches, and I think it stemmed from that draw that you got in Kanpur. Also, the match that you lost in Chennai to England, where I think toss played a crucial role. So I think they were trying to eliminate, but I get, they keep saying outside noise,
They heard the outside
doesn't
noise.
trouble. But you've heard the outside noise. You've prepared a very different pitch to what we've been seeing in the series so far, which tells you maybe if they wanted one, it tells you that maybe if they wanted, they could have prepared different pitches for the other venue. And two, I was the team management, I wouldn't have heard the outside noise.
I mean, if
I would have got the same pitch.
why would you want to change the basic characteristic of the wicket? Firstly, that means
So
you're not
is this
sure
the characteristic of Ahmedabad pitch, what you're seeing now also? It's not.
Kind
huh?
of, yeah. The fourth test that India played against England in 2021, it's kind of like that only. Slow, sluggish. It wasn't like the ping ball test.
Yeah, the ping ball test was an
But
absolute dust
the
bowl.
other one also finished in 3 days, yeah. That was also turning. It's tough to play Akshar Patel there. It's not as tough, yeah.
It isn't. It isn't.
So it's not the same.
But again, you got the best batting conditions. You're expecting on a typical subcontinent that day 1 and day 2 will be very good for batting. Then the pitch will crumble. Then from the second innings, half of the second innings onwards, it'll get difficult. Third innings will get difficult. Fourth, if you've got a target of 250 to chase, impossible to do it.
I don't know. That's a very interesting question Roy SP has got. When, the WTC final is on the line, do you think this was the most suited pitch, irrespective of New Zealand versus Sri Lanka? India should go for the win. Not saying this is a bad pitch, but was this the most suited one? And I kind of agree with Roy SP. That's why I'm saying, see, what you want to eliminate is the draw. Okay, tell me, in the World Test Championship before, so, I mean, if India lose, then if Sri Lanka win 2-0, you're out.
Yes.
Right? But if India win, then 2-0 doesn't matter. You're going through, right?
Correct.
But what happens if it's a draw?
Same
what?
Sri Lanka will have to win 2-0.
So exactly. So draw is as bad as a loss now.
Yes.
Right? Draw is as bad as so that's what my point is. Then eliminate draw na. See, 3 scenarios: win, lose, draw.
Yeah.
If you can eliminate and 2 scenarios are against you.
Yes.
So eliminate that one scenario only, na. Just keep win or loss. In which case, prepare the pitch that you prepared earlier.
But again, would India once again fallen into that trap? And you yourself said it's rather too early. Maybe by the end of the first day, we will have a better idea.
No, I'm saying we could still be very wrong. We could still find a pitch which just starts crumbling day 2, day 3 and everything finishes. Then fair. But I'm saying in that scenario where you are heading towards a draw, and when I'm saying draw is as bad as a loss, then why have a pitch like this? I'm saying
either the Indian management and the Indian players are all frazzled. Whatever
after that loss,
yes.
but the noises that came from there was like, no, it's fine.
As I said, there is a face that you put out in public saying that we are calm, we are cool, we are not bothered about it. Privately, you must be very, very worried. Pat Cummins in the Nagpur test, he said, no, we have to deal with the pitch that we dealt with. But personally, I'm sure he would have been spooked by what he saw in Nagpur because of the outside noise that Australia allowed them to subject themselves to, because the pitch had no demons in Nagpur. Here also, for the time being, there are no demons in this wicket.
In fact, this is the easiest wicket you've gotten out of all the 4, let's be frank.
And 2 of the dismissals, one was a bad shot selection, the other was a bad misjudgment. Labuschagne getting rooted to the crease, getting bowled.
Tell me so much of Manas Labuschagne spoken about, him being the number 1 batsman.
Found out.
No. So previous to this, you were saying no, not great pitches. But I would have liked to see a Manas Labuschagne number 1 batsman dig his heels in, find a way to play in these conditions. Okay, lottery pitch is gone. This wasn't a lottery pitch.
This wasn't.
Then why doesn't he show us? That's why I say sometimes these rankings can be misleading. He's good, I agree. But then we also have to look at the condition. That's why I think Steve Smith is Steve Smith. Yeah, he's done it in different conditions.
Yes.
And once again, look at, because again with Labuschagne, again not looking at the score.
Yeah.
But do you see how he is playing? These are different pitches, low pitches, and he's playing the same way like he'd play in Australia, with his feet not moving.
Yeah.
Every ball standing and trying to play because good even bounce, so you're trying to play them here. But sir, you're playing in India, and now because this is a typically Indian pitch where the bounce will be low. You have to bring that front foot forward and to a great extent, but that adaptability is not showing.
He's not, and when he's gone out of Australia, barring England, he's not had that application at all. That's why he doesn't have overseas hundreds. He may average 35-40 in Pakistan. He may average
Pakistan provides you roads. Come on.
but he doesn't have an overseas 100. If you look at it, very, very skewed. Home, he's a dominant. But away, this series has shown that Labuschagne is far from the finished product that he claims to be. That's why Smith is the master. He's just the apprentice at this point in time.
Yeah, no, it's a crucial stage also for the test match. I think the two best batters, and I won't be wrong if I say Khwaja is I think their best batter in the series so far. He's there. One bad shot he played in a test match. Got unlucky a few times, bad shot, mixture of that, but otherwise he's looked very good. Could have got 100 by now in this series. He's looked like that. Now is his chance to get 100. I think he's more determined to do that. And the other one, Steve Smith, calling on his experience. Now it's not a pitch that will spook him, so he could calm down, play his natural game where he can adapt. So this, I think, partnership will also tell us where the game is going to be heading. Again, if I'm thinking it from India's point of view, the batting last, if let's say batting first, if a team gets 350, you're always chasing the game.
Yes. 350, 400 is a must on this wicket, in that range. 300, okay, 50-50. But anything less than that, you've lost the initiative.
True.
And Australia, don't underestimate them, because even on roads in India, they can get spooked. It's happened. So 75 for 2, when you're actually having the best batting conditions technically, you should have capitalized a lot more. See, what happened? First hour, you made 60. The next hour, you made just 15.
Yeah.
That is how you've gone into a shell. And India's finding rhythm. Both Jadeja, I mean, if you look at it, Ashwin is in rhythm now, wheeling away. Shami is in good rhythm. And remember, reverse swing.
Yeah, which will come in later. No, I think India has now done one smart thing, which is their playing 11. That because you knew this is a pitch where it won't have a lot of assistance for bowler, so you've kept one fast bowler. What's that one question? Shane can take that.
Shubham Garg is asking that this match will show where your bowlers stand. Do they need pitches, or do they have the skills to get results? It will bring out the Oz spinner skills in game.
I think his is a rhetorical question where he's pointing out that Oz spinners' skills will come into play, which means he feels that Australia has the skill. Whereas he's a bit doubtful about Indian bowlers. But I tend to disagree. Indian bowlers, I mean, come on, in your foreign conditions where you've done so well in the recent past, your bowlers have been outstanding. Even in these conditions, by the way, on occasions your fast bowlers have done well in this series where they've hardly got any overs to bowl. And even in those little chances, they've done well. So I have no reason to doubt Indian bowlers. I think they have it in them to get those 20 wickets that you need. And looking at the Australian batting lineup also, I don't have too much confidence that, you'll have to field for long. If you ask me to wager whether India will get 20 wickets, I'll go with yes, they will.
Your entire WTC, if you look at it, the bowlers have kept you in the hunt, even in this series. This series is no exception. No. Your batting has been a concern. Your number 3 and number 4 have unfortunately not fired. Even your top order, I mean, now see, KL Rahul also slumped. His form slump has happened. Rohit Sharma has, barring that 100 that he hit.
KL is not playing anymore.
But Shubman yet again throwing him into the cauldron of the 3rd and 4th test and potentially WTC final. He will step up to it. Maybe
my friend, international cricket.
Yes.
Get used to it.
Yep. Shreyas Iyer also getting injured, just coming back. Although he did play a decentish knock in the second innings in Indore. Took the attack, but unfortunately couldn't continue thanks to a good catch. So your batting has been your major concern. And looking at the pitches that are there, it's not going to do you any favors with your confidence.
Achha, you talk about pitch. Nikhil has a question. Let's take that question.
Okay, Nikhil is like saying, can I take that?
Yeah.
Jay Shah's influence may have caused change in the pitch. He would have thought the PM of both countries, we don't want any controversy. But again,
why were you not taking the question?
I mean, influence.
No. I think he's trying to ask that BCCI, when he's referring to a person, it's like he's talking about BCCI.
Yeah.
So he's trying to say, or ask rather, that the BCCI would have been doubly careful about how this pitch is going to behave, because they have a reputation to protect, and because prime ministers of both countries are there. Would the BCCI have been a bit more careful to ensure that you don't get that rank turner of a pitch that you saw in Indore? Because of the, so it's a fair question. We can be divided in our answer, but the question is fair.
Quite likely.
Disagree.
Quite likely.
You think it is?
Possible. I'm not entirely going out, but yes. I mean, look, I was listening to the Alan Border show, which was going on TV, and Alan Border was saying that, now the focus of the Australian media, the front pages are caring about the sport because, the PM is going to be there. So it's not just the Indian media that we're talking about, it's also the foreign media, and I don't think you'd want a focus on a dust bowl.
But my counter to that is that people might say, okay, the focus of the prime ministers, but they were just there for half an hour, right? The focus is one day. Do you think that if you had, let's say, prepared a rank turner or a pitch that will assist the spinners, that on day one wouldn't have dominated as much headline and may not have soured any sort of image building that India was looking to do? Do you think, or I don't know?
I disagree with the comment totally, because all the talk on the pitch began after Indore. Because Indore,
no, talks were there before that.
But
first,
I think it
Nagpur pitch.
intensified with
You
Indore.
remember in Nagpur,
Yeah.
but we made the swastika, this center, this area.
Left-handers, no
Same
watering.
in Delhi.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, Delhi, you can at least say Delhi's always been like that.
been like that, yeah.
No, but
Slow.
it wasn't like that. I mean,
It reached a crescendo with Indore.
agreed. But the talk about the pitch was there for every test.
Every test. So that is why when you thought, okay, now we can't prepare a rank turner in Ahmedabad, it was decided that time itself.
Why is the question now, which is what he's pointing out. They decided not to prepare a rank turner because the Prime Minister said, is there merit in that? Because if they wanted, they could have. No, you can't stop them.
They could have.
Then.
But then, as I said, the whole management of pitches in this series has been woeful. Woeful to say the least, because it worked for you in Nagpur, it kind of worked for you in Delhi, it backfired in Indore. And see, below average, poor. These are your three ratings. Do you want to look at that as the holistical picture and want this pitch to be rated normal? Then I think you will heave a big sigh of relief. I think ever since the pandemic, when you started playing in India, 2021 onwards you started playing, barring that one Chennai test, look at what has happened.
No, so it started from that Chennai test.
Yeah.
That Chennai test you lost against England, and that's when you decided,
No, rank turners that is.
we'll go like this, eliminate draws also, and in these conditions, yes, you will lose a few. And I think the Indian team seemed prepared for that we will lose a few. But more often than not, you will win. And to be fair to the team, if you take out the data from that time,
They've not been wrong.
yeah, the only match that they lost since then is the Indore test match.
Yeah, Indore.
And one draw against New Zealand in Kanpur. Apart from that, you won everything. So the Indian team in that sense would be right that you prepared. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel that maybe Nikhil has a point that imagine if the prime ministers were not coming here, would we have still, assuming that the talk about the pitch was there, controversy about the pitch was there, Indore pitch was there, but the prime ministers were not coming, would you have had this sort of a pitch, or again the kind of pitch that you saw in Nagpur, Delhi, Indore?
You would have seen this pitch only. I don't think the Prime Minister's arrival or the BCCI's influence.
So then what has changed? Okay, you say the Prime Ministers are not a factor. Then what would have changed for you to, because if you want a turning track, you could have prepared that in Ahmedabad. What changed? The criticism?
The criticism.
I think two things.
The criticism of Indore.
Criticism, the demerit points, and the realization.
But demerit points, how do they matter? Like in the larger scheme of things, assuming, okay, let's say the reason you were preparing those pitches so that you want to qualify for the WTC final. Okay, so your aim is that. Now demerit points are not affecting your chances of doing that. It only is kind of a rap on the knuckle for the venue. So how does it matter? Next venue you also get a rap on the knuckle. Larger scheme of thing, you
have like 30 venues anywhere. You can actually go. No, then I think another.
It's like you want to eat desserts here. Okay, and I've told you not to eat it, but the only thing that can happen to you is me telling you not to eat it. You'll be saying, at best he'll only say one more thing. Let me keep eating the dessert.
No consequences.
No consequences. Unless there was a thing that if you've eaten one dessert, you have to compulsory run 5 rounds of the thing. then you would have changed. So I guess maybe that.
But then here there was, I think then the only reason, one, the political angle, of course. Two, maybe they felt, what if we're asked to bat first again?
But bat first.
No, bat first on a Turner, you have no idea how it
No
plays.
team would have put the other team into bat first. No matter what pitch you had.
Okay, then let's say you win the toss and you choose to bat, and then the exact same thing happens that happens in Indore.
But
you're left with egg on your face
No,
again.
but you took this risk even before the series started. So where you're placed right now, you're in a better situation to even risk a loss. Imagine where you were at the start of the series.
True.
Everything was on the line. The first test match would have been very important. But you decided to go that way because you had firm belief that it's going to work for you. How does that change after 3 test matches where you're still leading 2-1?
No, maybe that one loss shook them. Maybe, I don't know.
By that account, then I don't know.
I don't know. See, I think India are mentally not there. Because when did the Indian cricket...
Where are they mentally? IPL?
I don't know. I think they are just blank.
World Test Championship
Maybe
final?
that's the first...
World Test Championship final?
No, they are not thinking about that. Rohit Sharma himself...
I don't know about the Indian team. The broadcaster is already there. IPL.
Yeah, they've started the lovely promos and everything.
See, Rohit Sharma himself has said, we cannot look so far ahead. So he's not thinking about the WTC at all. But imagine, I mean, I can't understand this Indian team management getting spooked. That, okay, maybe Sri Lanka will help you. That's why you prepare rank turners for double, triple insurance. But that insurance probably comes with a disclaimer.
Caveat.
And that disclaimer no one has read.
Okay, Rahul, can you hear us?
Yes.
Acha, we were having a debate here that the pitch here is the way it is. It's more close to the traditional Indian pitch than we've seen in the first 3 test matches. And the debate here is, some of us feel that it is a traditional Indian pitch only because, you know, the 2 prime ministers were going to be there. The BCCI wouldn't have wanted any controversy or anything to take the focus away. So that's why this pitch is prepared. Or do you think the other school of thought is it's got nothing to do with prime minister? The pitch is like this because the last loss may have spooked the Indian team. So they've said no more pitches like that. Let's go with the tried and tested. What do you
Could have. It could have what you were saying, but I still feel that last 3 test matches, whatever happened, especially with regards to what ICC or how ICC rated the 3 pitches in Nagpur, Delhi, and Indore. Indore specifically because it was rated as a poor wicket. So here, this stadium, Narendra Modi Stadium, the grand venue for cricket, I don't think they wanted to face any such embarrassment. So that is the reason why they prepared a traditional Indian wicket, as you said, which will have something for the batters initially on day 1. And as the day or the game progresses, the spinners will come into play. I think one thing that the Indians can do, and they did to a great extent also, especially in the second hour, was that they stopped that run flow. Because in the first hour, the Australians were scoring runs pretty freely. If not freely, they were getting runs. But the moment you stop that run flow, it adds pressure to the batsman, especially in this day and age of cricket where, the batters want to score runs. You don't see those many maiden overs, unlike you have somebody like Cheteshwar Pujara at the crease. So the moment you stop that run flow, you add pressure to the batters and then you get wickets, which happened in the second hour. And with that wicket, you will stop. So it's a situation where one thing helps the other. If you pick wickets, you will stop the run flow. If you stop the run flow, you might pick wickets out. So that is why that drop initially in the first session, I think was a little costly for the Indians. You can say that Travis Head is now back in the hut, but still that initial partnership, it did give some impetus to the Australian innings. 75 for 2 is something that the Australian, I think, would have taken or will take at this point in time.
Who are those people around? They are your fans, are they? They want selfie with you?
That's a very easy joke.
No, they are your fans. but Nikhil, I'll tell you something. In the morning, you've already seen how the mood or the crowd was initially in the morning when the prime ministers were expected to come, even when they were already there inside. But I'll tell you, if I can show you the scenes here, trust me, majority of the people, unfortunately, are either leaving or have left. This is, and this has been going on for the last 1 hour. Trust me, a lot of people have already left. So this is the venue. You can say you'll hardly see anybody going into the stadium. In fact, majority of them are actually going back. This is the Motera Stadium metro station, and they are all headed either to that metro station because no vehicle can come here. And as I said, there is a vehicle, but it has to be a government vehicle or some police security vehicle. So that's what has happened here, Nikhil. I think a lot of people came here just to witness the scenes in the morning when both the prime ministers, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Anthony Albanese, both of them here and had that brief ceremony. Also, I think the toss also got a bit delayed just in that because of the ceremonies that were supposed to happen. I think four odd minutes it got delayed, but that's it. It was an occasion to mark a special day, 75 years of India-Australia cricket. So that has happened, and now the focus, fortunately, is back on cricket. And I can see a lot of people here. If I could just speak to a few people. सेल्फी बाद में लेंगे सर, पहले ये देखो ना आप. अरे कैमरे पे आओ. क्या नाम है आपका? चौधरी विश्वा. इधर आओ आप. शक्ल आप लंबे बहुत हो ना, आप कैमरे में नहीं आ पाओगे वरना. अच्छा, क्या चौधरी विश्वा मैच देख लिया, देखने जा रहे हो या आ रहे हो? वेरी गुड, देख लिया पूरा सेशन. बहुत अच्छे यार, आपने तो मतलब टेस्ट. वापस क्यों जा रहे हो? नाश्ता करके फिर जाएंगे ना ग्राउंड में देखने के. अच्छा, नाश्ता करने बाहर आए हो. ओह अच्छा, क्या स्टेडियम बनाया यार आप लोगों ने. पहला मैच देख रहे हो आप यहाँ पे? टिकट है आपके पास? कहाँ है? ये तो एक ही टिकट है. मेरे पास ये क्या है? ये तो वॉलंटियर के पास है, ये तो टिकट थोड़ी ना ही है. अच्छा, वाह, वेरी गुड. नहीं यार, मैं तो हाँ जी. So you see, so what you've seen is a lot of these people, they just came out for lunch, breakfast. So I just hope that all these hundreds and thousands of people who are now coming out of the venue, they'll just have their lunch or breakfast and will then head back into the stadium, and we'll once again see that full house. We'll have to see the attendance record for the match today, because the official figures that we were told by the Gujarat Cricket Association, 85,000 tickets were given to the people or the supporters who were here to witness the ceremony with both the prime ministers in attendance, and then 20 odd thousand tickets were made available on the online portal. So 1,05,000 is the official figure. Beyond that, I think there must have been at least 10 to 15,000 more people inside, if not more.
You know what? There was this whole thing we were building up on the television show, saying that the record for 90,000 would be broken for a single day attendance of a test match. 1.3 lakh was expected, but to be fair, I'm going to be very honest, is that whatever I saw on television, it didn't seem even 50% full at a given point. So I don't think that many people turned up as we expected. And I think Rahul pointed out, very clearly a short while ago, a lot of them actually came to watch the two prime ministers, to watch Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and a lot of them are leaving. I understand that some of those guys that Rahul spoke to said that wo nashta khane aaye hain. By the way, for those of you watching us from North India, South India, I need to tell you, nashta is a term used in North India just for breakfast, but in the West, nashta is anytime. Snack is nashta. So anytime, you know, they say that they're going for nashta is a bit of a snack. But I'm guessing he's right. Most of those people are leaving by cars as well. So it's not that they're going to eat. They're not going to be coming back. And I thought that the two prime ministers coming would have given some sort of impetus to this test match. More and more people would have got some context. But that's not happened. That's unfortunate. But maybe, Rahul, I think it also has something to do with the fact that Australia are batting. Imagine if at the end of the day, India would have been batting, maybe more people would have stayed back.
Absolutely, and that's been the case. You know it. Most of the times, because fortunately or unfortunately, the batters get that superstar status in India, and they have a huge fan following. Be it Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and the likes of both these players. They have a huge fan following, and people tend to come to the stadiums only to watch these players. So maybe they'll return tomorrow or maybe later in the evening after that nashta when the Indian team comes out to bat.
Acha, personally tell me before I let you go, you're happy now the whole bandobast, tamjam, everything is over, the prime ministers are gone, because now you can move around easily in Ahmedabad, you can get food easily, chai, coffee, travel, auto rickshaw, reaching your hotel, entering the stadium, all of that will become slightly easier.
To be very honest, Nikhil, I didn't have. I'll be very honest. I didn't have much of a problem. I think they were. It was all designed very nicely for the media persons also. We were told, in fact, they had arranged for a shuttle service also for us. So we were supposed to be here, and the shuttle would pick us at around 7:15 or 7:30. And would take us straight into the stadium. So we don't have to go through all this security checks and all. And we will head straight into the venue stadium. And we just have to get to that gate where you were also, I believe you were also there. If I'm not wrong, I don't know, you were also there. Where you have those Gujarat Titans,
Gate number 1.
So gate number 1, you head straight into the gate number 1 and then you turn left. And there you have that Gujarat, because you were there for the official jersey launch. So they had made the arrangements. Just that this road where I am standing right now, it's been cordoned off. So no vehicle can actually move around. Only in fact, in the morning, all I could see or hear was the sirens of these police vans and cars. So that's all. In fact, for the last couple of days, that's what I've seen, at least in the vicinity of this particular area. So all that has happened. But as you said, at least I'm happy with the fact whatever has happened as in for the good. But I'm also happy that now the focus is back on cricket, and I can now also focus on what I came here to do.
What was that? Holiday? What?
To cover the test match.
Acha, chalo, you go. You also grab some nashta, some very good nashta you get in Gujarat.
I have to get inside. I haven't. I'll tell you the other story. There are things that can't be shared on.
Okay. I'll call you. Anyway. I'll call you in some time. You go ahead to the stadium.
Hello.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Gents, closing thoughts. What are you expecting next session?
A crucial session, I think, for both teams. India, I think you want a wicket pronto. They're going to be putting Ashwin out there like crazy because you have Steve Smith. Yes.
Yeah.
But if Australia get a 50-run partnership, I think they'd be looking in command. So very key session because test right now 50-50. Both sides would be very happy with where they are.
Yeah, I think this break, how they go about it, because when Australia lost the first wicket, they had lost it after the first drinks break. So recuperating from that and trying to get your concentration back, that will be the key. Smith holds the key. If he falls, then I think the rest of the Australian batting could crumble.
Yeah.
So if India can get, I think India can get about 2 or 3 wickets more in this session. Then Australia might be staring at 150 or 160 for 5 by the end of the session.
That's all.
Yep.
You want to take one comment?
Somit Gupta, in such a crucial series, why will you not play your best available keeper? Ridhiman Sir is also a very good batsman spin bowling. In his last test, he was 69 and saved the match.
I think they've moved on.
They
from
have moved
Riddhi.
beyond Riddhiman Saha, Soumya Dasgupta. Because that is why Shikhar Bharat, Ishan Kishan, then possibly last, if you want to look at it on the line, there is Riddhiman Saha. But I think his time is done.
Yeah.
When Pant came, his time was up. The others emerged. Then he had to be pushed down the pecking order, unfortunately. So yeah, no Riddhiman Saha, unfortunately. So all set to begin the second session, crucial session for both teams. If India make inroads, great.
Yeah.
But if Australia get a good partnership, like you said, yep, then it will be advantage Australia heading into the third session. So join us at Sports Today for all the information and tap that bell icon and subscribe to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well.
As well.
Thank you. Bye bye. Vanakkam.